That can't be possible.
No, but like, cause when I played Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I enjoyed it, and I didn't know the whole mechanics, and I didn't know how to do the whole like stun loop combos and all that. It was like I'm just playing it for fun. Yeah. It's good. I was pretty good at it. It was like, all right, I was barely average, honestly. Yeah. But I was beating people online. Which you just heard.
We were just playing. You didn't know I was gonna appear, did you? Look at those sideburns. Those are sidebangs.
They're further back.
I like sidebangs. They look cool. I know.
But like I was saying, when you bodied me, I was like, well, fuck. I'm not as good as I thought. And that was not me being... I was like, fuck, I was trying to wrap my head around it, and I was like, I'm just not as good as I thought. And I was like, nah, I just don't want to... Because I know my limit on Marvel vs. Capcom was that. And I'm like, I can't get any better at Marvel vs. Capcom. So I'm like, I'm kind of done.
I kind of know what you mean, because when I fought you and Neo, and you were playing Kensei, I was like, oh, yeah, you're actually up... Sorry.
I mean, there is PvP in Neo now. I mean, if you would want to go like 101 in Neo, I don't know how the PvP is.
I don't either. Well, I did kind of sort of play PvP, but it was more so here and there. It was okay.
Like, I know the exploiting tricks to get people down their stamina.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works on PvP.
Fucking Kurugama, its stamina is a beast. It just eats it for days.
Well, I mean, I'm actually, what's funny is I'm actually really good at countering the Kasaragama in fucking Neo with all the, like, the Phantom people. Like, even the low stancing, mashing square.
Yeah.
I fucking counter that shit all the time. Like every weapon that has a counter in it, I practiced against.
There's only 2 weapons that have a counter.
There's like 5. What are you talking about?
No, I thought it was just the dual swords and the regular sword.
No, there's dual swords, regular swords, the axe, the Odachi, the Kasaragama.
No. Those Odachi technically is still a single sword. It's under the same classification.
No, it's not.
No, the same skill set.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
There's only like 5 skill sets. There's your single
I
sword.
will break out the game right now and show you the Odachi skill tree.
Sure. Sure.
I will show you the Odachi skill tree.
Okay, there's the single sword, there's the dual swords, then there's axe, lance, and then the Kurugama.
No, they added Odachi.
Okay, is that DLC?
That's the patch they gave out for free.
Wait, what?
There's a new weapon, the Odachi.
Oh, I guess I haven't played this.
The two-handed sword.
I haven't played this. Basically,
yeah, that's what I was like, what are you
Kensei.
talking about?
Kensei then, right?
Yeah, it's like Kensei.
Because I remember there's 2 different katanas in the base game.
Yeah, there's
your regular
the
katana
curved one, and then there's the straight ones.
Well, curved and short, and then
there's
the slightly less curved but longer ones.
Yeah, and those are just by distance.
Yeah.
And some of them were faster, some of them were slower.
Okay, so correction. I haven't played the DLC. I haven't played the DLC, so I didn't know about that.
I recently just platinumed Neo too. I'm really happy about that. Fucking was hard as shit. And with the DLC they added another. You know, there's Way of the Strong.
Yeah.
Now there's Way of Demons.
All right, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, we are.
Well, we gotta do Way of the Strong first.
I know, but I'm already done with Way of the Strong.
Oh, well, I gotta catch up.
Well, I'm gonna help you through it. That's why we're gonna do. We're gonna co-op it and be fun.
He's probably gonna do it by himself.
Yeah.
This isn't Bloodborne. It's okay.
Yeah, right.
I only did it with Bloodborne because Yari kept saying I was shit at the game.
I was joking.
I took your jokes to heart. Because it's Bloodborne.
Do you not remember at the end of Bloodborne, at the end of the recording, I was like, hey, you were actually pretty good at the game. You died less than I did.
No, because you made fun of me for power leveling on accident.
That was just a joke.
But it was true.
You did power level
on accident.
But even then, it's a mechanic in the game. If the way Dark Souls and Bloodborne has worked is if you can't beat someone, this is the exact same thing with Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
If you can't beat the monster, go back, change up your tactics, get better gear, or whatever. And that's how Dark Souls works too. You can't beat the boss, get back, get some levels, come back and try again.
Yeah, well, in that situation, it was more so I only needed to do like 1 or 2 levels, but I mistook it, and I did like 5 or 6 levels, which is significant. Yeah.
Especially because you hit the cap on that too, so.
Yeah. But it was a skill build, so it was okay. It was a little bit of a challenge still.
It was skill and blood tinge, wasn't it?
Skill, blood tinge, and a little bit quality.
Quality?
Because remember I wanted to try out some of the strength weapons, like the Kirk
hammer.
Hammer.
Right. Okay.
I think the Kirk Hammer, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it was the Kirk Hammer.
But yeah, it was.
You went with the axe first?
Yeah, it wasn't a pure skill and blood tinge.
It wasn't the best build in the game, but it was still enough to get by.
It was good for a beginner. Like basically playing as a beginner and then specializing. That's all
Yeah.
it literally was.
It was like, okay, well, this is the weapon I want. I'm going to build towards that weapon.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know any of the weapons in the game.
I didn't know the game.
Exactly. So that was cool.
Now I kind of do. Not.
I just want Bloodborne 2 so bad.
And it's so easy to do because of the endings.
There's so much you can do with that.
You can literally go into the real world instead of the dream world.
I mean, technically, the lore behind it is that, well, based on what ending you got, you either become an old god,
Yes.
you either become
Wait,
you either wake up from the dream.
A great one, more specific.
Great one. Sorry, I'm going Cthulhu.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can save an old god, kind of, sort of, but if we're talking Bloodborne, it's a great one.
Yeah, it's a great one. There's the great one ending. There's the waking up from the dream ending,
where you
and then there's the one you become
final boss.
The final boss. And it's like you can do so much with any of those three, because
Well,
like it could be a different dream. Honestly,
Yeah, I mean, I liked the one where you get wrecked by the final boss and you wake up from the dream.
that's the one I like the most. Too.
That one's easier to work with. The other ones are okay, because like let's say the one where you become the final boss, it'll be kind of like Dark Souls 1 to Dark Souls 3, where you see yourself again as not really yourself, but you see someone you know as the final boss.
Well, Dark Souls 2 you didn't do that.
No, Dark Souls 1 to Dark Souls 3.
Well, Dark Souls 1 you didn't see that either.
No, Gwen.
Gwen wasn't
Not Gwen, the king dude.
King Gwen.
In 1.
In 1, yeah.
And then the final boss in 3 fights so much like him
Oh,
that he
okay.
practically is him.
Well, he's only him in the second form, but yeah. But because with Dark Souls 3, you're fighting the flame, and everyone who's lit the flame.
Yeah.
And everyone who's lit the flame was a cleric, a spearman, a temp, fucking all those classes
But,
that were
like,
made.
the major
and that's
one
why he
was-
switches in there. And then when you beat the first form, he says, fuck it, and goes back to the first person who lit the flame. Gwen.
Which basically makes him kind of Gwen.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Like how we're having Dark Souls lore discussion during Crash Bandicoot.
Well, Bloodborne too.
I don't want a composition.
But like, I just want, like, I want Bloodborne 2 mostly because I love the aesthetics of Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I love dark gothic horrors with
And it's
Cthulhu
different.
essence.
That was the really good part about it.
Well, I mean, like, I love Dark Souls. It was a fantasy game,
Aren't
and
you getting a little, like, not exhausted and tired, but you want something different? Don't you have that little tinge in you?
when it comes to Dark Souls,
Yeah. Because you've had 2 DLCs, so you should be satiated a little bit with Dark Souls.
I actually wasn't. There was more questions than answers in
That's fine.
Dark Souls 3. Like, fuck, I don't want to spoil the Ring City.
Don't, because I'm still playing through it.
Okay.
I barely beat the
There's
beat
just
the first
one thing you have to watch a movie to understand, and it's
What?
stupid. Because there's a part in the DLC where it's based off of an old anime movie.
Which one?
I don't remember what it was called, but like you have to watch that to see what it does, and then realize what's happening. And it's like, well, shit, that's kind of weird.
Huh.